What if I told you there are palaces so expensive they're worth more than the GDP of entire countries? From Beijing's Forbidden City at $70 billion to Brunei's Istana Nurul Iman, valued at $34 billion, these residences are not just homes. They are monuments of absolute power, divine authority, and unimaginable wealth. Welcome back to Inside the Billionaires, where we explore the private lives and fortunes of the world's richest. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss what comes next. In today's journey, we're stepping into the world's most extravagant palaces. Versailles, with its dazzling Hall of Mirrors, Tokyo's Imperial Palace rebuilt after war, Buckingham Palace, the beating heart of Britain's monarchy, India's vertical palace Antilia, and Brunei's oil-fueled Kingdom of Gold. These places aren't just buildings. They're living testaments to how billionaires and royals have reshaped history itself. Forbidden City. The $70 billion Palace of Heaven's Sun. At the heart of Beijing lies a palace so vast and priceless, it makes even the richest billionaires look modest. The Forbidden City, valued at an astonishing $70 billion, is not only the world's most expensive palace, but also the largest and most complete architectural complex ever created by human hands. Built between 1406 and 1420 during the Ming Dynasty, it was home to 24 emperors for nearly 5 centuries, symbolizing absolute power and divine authority. The scale is breathtaking: 9,199 rooms across 72 hectares, deliberately one room short of heaven's perfection. Even its land value alone, set in Beijing's central district, exceeds $19 billion. But the real treasure lies inside: over $50 billion worth of jade, silk, porcelain, and priceless artworks, turning the palace into the greatest treasure house on earth. Every corridor follows ancient feng shui principles, aligned perfectly along a cosmic axis meant to reflect universal order. Its glowing yellow roof tiles were reserved exclusively for the emperor, reminding subjects that they stood before a man believed to be the Son of Heaven. Today, the Forbidden City welcomes millions of visitors, yet it still holds an aura of mystery, power, and wealth beyond imagination, an eternal reminder of how luxury was once the language of empires and billionaires alike. Versailles, the $50 billion theater of royal power. If the Forbidden City embodied cosmic order, then Versailles was pure theatrical power. With an estimated value of $50 billion, the Palace of Versailles remains one of the most extravagant symbols of monarchy ever built. Originally a simple hunting lodge in 1623, it was transformed by Louis XIV, the Sun King, into the most dazzling court in Europe. By moving the nobility from Paris to Versailles, he didn't just build a palace, he built a political weapon that kept rivals under his watchful eye. Inside its 2,300 rooms, Versailles radiates luxury at every step. The crown jewel, the legendary Hall of Mirrors, stretches 240 feet with 357 mirrors, reflecting sunlight into a dazzling sea of brilliance. In the 17th century, mirrors were so expensive that a single pane rivaled the cost of a warship. Imagine the power statement Louis XIV made by lining an entire gallery with them. The manicured 800-hectare gardens, the Royal Opera House with its transformable stage, and rooms choreographed for daily rituals, all reinforced the illusion of divine kingship. But Versailles was more than glitter and fountains. It was also the gilded cage that bankrupted France and helped ignite the revolution. Today, it remains both a monument of royal grandeur and a warning of what happens when wealth and inequality spiral out of control, even for the richest billionaires in history. Tokyo Imperial Palace, $11.25 billion symbol of Japan's rebirth. Amid the neon skyline of Tokyo lies a palace whose value, $11.25 billion, comes not just from its walls, but from the land beneath it. The Tokyo Imperial Palace sits on some of the most expensive real estate on Earth. At the peak of Japan's 1980s economic bubble, the grounds alone were said to be worth more than the entire state of California. For a nation rebuilding its identity after war, this palace became a symbol of rebirth and resilience. Its story begins with Edo Castle, seat of the Tokugawa shoguns for 250 years, later transformed into the emperor's residence during the Meiji Restoration of 1869. The original palace was destroyed in the devastating 1945 air raids, but by 1968 it rose again, reimagined by architect Junzo Yoshimura, who blended modern steel and concrete with traditional Japanese forms. Step inside and you'll find ceremonial halls for state functions, tatami-lined living quarters, and even the Tokugawa Music Hall, renowned worldwide for its acoustics. Yet, beyond its structures, the surrounding moats, stone walls, and serene gardens preserve centuries of Japanese heritage. Today, the palace stands as both a private home for the imperial family and a living museum of Japan's cultural spirit, proving that true luxury isn't only measured in wealth, but also in history, survival, and identity. Buckingham Palace, $4.9 billion heart of the British Crown. When most people picture royalty, they imagine Buckingham Palace, a residence worth between $1.6 and $4.9 billion, yet considered truly priceless. More than just a home, it is the working heart of the British monarchy, where history, politics, and pageantry collide. The story began in 1703 as Buckingham House, a townhouse for a duke. King George III later purchased it for Queen Charlotte, but it was George IV who transformed it into the lavish palace we recognize today. Since Queen Victoria made it the official royal residence in 1837, Buckingham has been the stage for nearly 2 centuries of British power. Inside its 775 rooms, visitors encounter opulent state apartments, a throne room used for coronations, and the picture gallery showcasing masterpieces by Rembrandt, Rubens, and Vermeer, art treasures valued at $12 $6 billion as part of the royal collection. During World War II, Buckingham became a symbol of defiance when it was bombed 9 times, yet King George VI and Queen Elizabeth refused to leave, sharing the dangers with their people. And, of course, its iconic balcony, where royals appear during national celebrations, remains one of the most photographed spots in the world. Buckingham Palace isn't just about wealth, it is living proof that tradition, pageantry, and national pride can turn a royal home into the most enduring luxury of all. Antilia, the $4.6 billion vertical palace of Mumbai. In the heart of Mumbai rises Antilia, a 27-story skyscraper worth $4.6 billion, the private home of billionaire Mukesh Ambani. Unlike traditional palaces, Antilia redefines luxury for the 21st century, standing as a vertical fortress of wealth and power. Every detail is designed to astonish. The residence holds a 168-car garage, a 50-seat private cinema, 3 rooftop helipads, multiple swimming pools, a spa, and even a snow room that creates artificial winter in tropical India. Each floor uses different materials, so no 2 levels look alike, an intentional design choice to make every space unique. Beyond its extravagance, Antilia is also an engineering marvel, built to withstand magnitude 8 earthquakes and equipped with security systems comparable to government bunkers. Its construction stirred controversy since the land once belonged to an orphanage, highlighting India's sharp contrasts between extreme poverty and billionaire opulence. For the Ambani family, however, Antilia isn't just a home, it's a statement. It represents India's emergence as a global economic force and the new face of modern royalty, where billionaires build palaces not on land, but in the sky. Istana Nurul Iman, $34 billion oil-fueled kingdom. Deep in the tiny but wealthy nation of Brunei stands Istana Nurul Iman, the world's largest residential palace and a marvel valued at $34 billion. Built in 1984 for Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah, it symbolizes the peak of oil wealth transformed into architectural glory. The numbers are staggering: 1,688 rooms, 257 bathrooms, a banquet hall seating 5,000 guests, and a mosque for 1,500 worshippers. The palace also includes a 110-car garage filled with rare Ferraris and Bentleys, and even air-conditioned stables for 200 polo ponies. Every detail, from marble to gold-plated domes, radiates extravagance. During national celebrations, the Sultan opens the palace to citizens, turning it from a fortress of power into a stage of generosity. At night, 564 chandeliers and 51,000 light bulbs illuminate the skyline, making the palace shine like a beacon of prosperity. More than a residence, Istana Nurul Iman is a symbol of Brunei's identity, a fusion of Islamic tradition, royal power, and billionaire-level luxury. It shows how immense natural resources can shape not just a nation's economy, but also its image on the world stage. Palaces beyond wealth. Power. Written in stone. From Beijing's Forbidden City to Brunei's Istana Nurul Iman, these palaces show us that luxury is never just about gold, jewels, or chandeliers. Each one is a living symbol of power, political, cultural, or personal. The Forbidden City reflected the cosmic order of China's emperors. Versailles was Louis XIV's weapon of control. Tokyo's Imperial Palace symbolized Japan's rebirth after war. Buckingham still beats as the heart of Britain's monarchy. Antilia redefines what a billionaire palace means in the modern age. And Istana Nurul Iman proves how oil wealth can turn a small nation into a spectacle of global grandeur. Together, their value exceeds $142 billion, but their true worth lies in influence and legacy. These are not just homes. They are monuments to ambition, excess, and survival. They remind us that billionaires and royals alike use architecture not only to live, but to project dominance across generations. In the end, these palaces aren't just built from stone and marble. They are built from the very idea of power itself. And that's something no price tag can ever truly capture. From imperial dynasties to modern billionaires, the world's most expensive palaces prove that wealth can build more than homes. It can build legacies. Each palace we explored today tells a story of ambition, excess, and the desire to leave behind something eternal. They are not just residences, but mirrors of power, reminders of how luxury has always shaped history. So, which of these billion-dollar palaces amazed you the most? Was it the golden grandeur of Versailles, the unmatched scale of the Forbidden City, or the modern extravagance of Antilia in Mumbai? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your perspective. Don't forget to like this video, share it with friends, and subscribe to Inside the Billionaires for more untold stories of wealth and power. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.